Some stories do not belong to one country. Some people don't belong to one land. They belong to the whole world. And one such woman was Annie Besant. When you hear her name, you might remember the Home Rule movement or her work with education. But behind those big achievements lies a journey filled with courage, heartbreak, and choices most people would never dare to make. The real story of Annie Besant is not just political, it's deeply human. She was born in London in 1847, in a time when women were not allowed to think freely, speak freely, or even choose their own life. But little Annie was different from the very beginning. She questioned norms, she challenged what was unfair, and she believed that a person's voice, no matter how small, could shake the world. As she grew up, her life was not easy. She faced personal struggles that would break many. Her marriage fell apart. She lost custody of her own children because society felt her ideas were dangerous. Imagine a mother who had to watch her children taken away from her just because she dared to think differently. But instead of breaking, Annie became stronger. Her wounds became her fire. She worked for women's rights. She worked for factory workers who were being treated badly. She fought for people who had no one to fight for them. And in one of those strange twists of destiny, her path led her to India, a country she had read only in books. But the moment she arrived, something shifted. She didn't see India the way the British Empire saw it. She didn't see a colony. She saw a civilization, a culture, a soul. She once said that India was the land that touched her spirit. And she meant it. At a time when even mentioning freedom was considered a crime, Annie Besant stood on Indian soil and said, "We need home rule. We deserve to govern ourselves." Those were brave words, dangerous words, but she didn't step back. One of the most powerful moments in her story is something not many people know about. She was running a newspaper called New India, and through it she spoke loudly against injustice. But the British didn't like her voice. They shut the newspaper down. Instead of stopping, Annie started another one. When they banned public meetings, she gathered people in secret. When they tried to threaten her, she simply smiled and said, "You can silence my paper, but you cannot silence my mind." And then came the moment that changed everything, her arrest. Yes, Annie Besant was arrested by the British government for demanding freedom for Indians. But do you know what happened next? People across the country protested. Her portrait was carried in rallies. Leaders like Tilak and Gandhi admired her fearlessness. Even children wrote letters saying, "Release our Annie Besant." When she finally came out of prison, she didn't return home quietly. She walked out as if she was walking into history herself. She didn't stop with politics. Her love for India went deeper. She believed India needed schools that taught knowledge and character. She helped build the Central Hindu College in Varanasi, which later became part of Banaras Hindu University. She also became closely associated with the Theosophical Society in Adyar, Chennai. Many know this, but here is something most people miss. Annie Besant played a major role in bringing the ancient Indian texts back into respect. At a time when even many Indians didn't read the Vedas or the Upanishads, she published translations and encouraged people to be proud of them. She told the world that India was not a poor land. It was a land of deep wisdom. This was not politics. This was love. There was another unknown chapter. She believed that a young boy named Jiddu Krishnamurti would become a great spiritual teacher. She adopted him, trained him, and wanted him to lead a global movement. This part of her life is debated, but it still shows how strongly she believed in India's spiritual future. Through all this, she faced criticism, misunderstandings, and loneliness. Danny Besant never complained. She once said something beautiful. I am an Indian by choice. I love India more than my own country. And history remembers those words. Her final years were spent in India quietly, lovingly, still working. She passed away in 1933 in Chennai, in the country she chose. The country she fought for and the country she believed in till her last breath. Annie Besant's story is not just about freedom. It is about courage, about conviction, about loving a land that isn't yours until it becomes yours. When I read about her, I realize something. Some heroes raise swords, some raise flags, but some raise voices, and those voices echo the longest. If Annie Besant's story touched you today, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Page Pulse by Lee. Because learning about our past is one of the best ways to respect our present. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring and keep discovering the heroes who shaped our world. Signing off, Page Pulse by Lee. See you next time.